Lipari landfill was the former #1 Superfund site in the U.S. This is the landfill and the neighborhood. It used to be a lovely peach orchard, but in 1959, Nick Lipari began mining it for sand and gravel. Then he began accepting chemicals and trash to fill the holes left by mining. Mr. Lipari dumped industrial garbage over 3 million gallons of a chemical called bis-2-chloral-ethyl ether. That's a lot. Many chemicals were dumped at Lipari, and some, like BCEE, were suspected of causing cancer. First, the chemicals leaked into the marsh, killing lots of trees. And the neighbors started complaining of awful odors. Then, chemicals got into a beautiful stream called Chestnut Branch. After that, the toxic pollution got into Alcyon Lake, where people used to swim and go fishing. Mr. Lipari had to go to court because of the pollution from his landfill. The judge made him put pipes in to drain the chemicals into Chestnut Branch. The BCEE in the water got into the fish in Alcyon Lake. When EPA cleaned up the lake, the fish were so toxic they were sent to a special landfill in drums. However, the turtles were able to rid themselves of the chemicals, so they were collected and housed in a special trailer. Mr. Lipari never even put up a fence around the landfill to keep out kids. Later, a few signs were installed to keep out adults. This is what the site looked like in 1979. Health studies were done to see if the chemicals from the landfill hurt people in the neighborhood. One big government study found that the chemicals from Lipari caused low birth weight and stillborn babies. A smaller study found that the landfill caused leukemia. That's a kind of cancer. The EPA took over Mr. Lipari's dump in 1982 and began working to protect the neighborhood. Next, they sealed up the trash in the ground to stop the nasty chemicals from leaking into the streams, lake, and air. An underground wall was put in all the way around the garbage, and it was sunk into thick natural clay under the landfill. In some places, this soil bentonite cutoff wall is 50 feet deep. This created a big container like a huge swimming pool. It was covered up with a thick plastic cap to keep the chemicals from escaping the landfill. After the container was sealed, the chemical companies responsible for the pollution spent over $60 million cleaning up the marsh, stream, and lake. 300,000 tons of contaminated dirt and mud was dug up and treated. That's enough soil to fill an entire football field over 75 feet high. Sediments and soil were put through a low-temperature volatilization system, which cooked the dirt until the contamination was gone. EPA needed a place to temporarily store all those sediments from the lake, so they used the old Alcyon racetrack. This is the old Alcyon Speedway, which operated from 1895 till 1960. When the work was done, a really nice new park was created where the old racetrack once stood. The new park has ball fields, picnic areas, and lots of flowers. The lake and marsh are once again beautiful natural areas. And of course, the turtles were returned to the lake. In 1990, the EPA began building a groundwater treatment plant and soil vapor extraction system. For more than 20 years, EPA rinsed chemicals out of the landfill container by pumping clean water in and taking dirty water out. The dirty water was then filtered by EPA's plant. More than 500 tons of pollution was removed in this way. EPA also vacuums the toxic vapors from the trash and treats them with a thermal oxidizer so they are not harmful. Today, people that live in the neighborhood don't have to worry about dirty air, water, or soil from the landfill. And Pitman, New Jersey is now a nice place to live.